Hey Pirate fans, welcome to your 7 Minutes of Piracy. We are still on vacation. We thought we would do a quick video on some of the ports we've been to, some of the things we've seen. This kind of goes hand in hand with the last video we did about the different excursions. But on this one, we're going to talk about the actual ports, the actual cities we went to, and kind of what we thought, and kind of give you an idea of what to expect if you've never been there and you're going there.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you start? Pick one.
Okay, I'm just going to go in order.
In order is good.
Okay, so let's start with Tortola. It's located in the British Virgin Islands. It's a small port town established by the English, so there's a lot of English influence. The actual port where you dock is pretty small, but on the tour that we took, they actually took us to a marina called the Smuggler's Cove, and it had some shopping and some really good rum. We did a little rum tasting there, and it was pretty fantastic. So, but a pretty small island, but really nice, beautiful. Recommend it.
Okay, I'm going to talk about St. Thomas. That was a U.S. Virgin Island. We stopped at the port of St. Thomas was actually very small. There was actually a open air market just a few blocks away from the ship, but maybe 4 blocks by 8 blocks for the whole kind of downtown area.
But it was really unique because it has an open air market where, you know, you look at stuff and anything you look at, go, oh, that's pretty. Somebody's on you going,
they're on you.
Lady, hey lady, $5. It's like, oh my goodness, it's really pretty. I don't.
It starts at 20, and then it's 15, and then it's 10, and when you're walking away, it's 8, and they might be able to do it for 6, but you're taking the food out of their children's mouth. But I mean,
but you have to barter. It's kind of part of their culture, and really, if you don't, it's.
They seem a little put out when you're not willing to barter. So we bartered everything. So
everything.
Hey, trying to make the locals happy.
Yes.
Okay.
Nassau, Bahamas.
Nassau, Bahamas was actually a small city. What do we figure? They have a 250,000 people. I mean, it's a city that just happens to have a port on it that the ship stops. So you could find everything there. We figured the downtown area that we were kind of walking through during our day was maybe a half mile deep and maybe 1 to 2 miles long. I mean, it was huge. Tons of restaurants, shops, lots of things to look at. We were actually hitting coin stores while we were there because I was looking for some pirate coins. Sunken treasure or whatnot, but a lot to look at.
Right, and one of the big draws at Nassau, Bahamas, is the Atlantis Resort. It's huge.
It's huge. It's on its own island, Paradise Island, right across the bay. You've got to go over a bridge to it.
Beautiful beach. We actually hung out on the beach that day. Didn't go into Atlantis because we weren't.
Not a member.
We weren't allowed. So, but we did get to see it from the beach side, and it was pretty amazing.
But it would have been nice to have a full day in Nassau. I mean, there's tons to explore, and you probably can't see it all, but definitely a large enough downtown where you can walk around. You can spend half a day going to different places, stop, have lunch, get some drinks, and see all you can.
Yep.
Okay, what do we got next?
Costa Maya.
Costa Maya.
Costa Maya is a very, 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 very tiny little town. It's actually a port town, and when the cruise ships are there, it's a town. But as soon as the cruise ships leave, they board the place up and they go to various parts of the country. Our tour guide, she was from Belize, and then our driver, he was from...
She said she had to drive 4 miles to come up to the town to lead our tour, but she told us the moment the ship leaves, everybody closes, and it's a ghost town. Nobody lives in the town. They only come there when the cruise ships are there. So that was kind of interesting.
Right, and when we did our tour, we took the bus out of the little village, Costa Maya village, and there's nothing. But, I mean, and you'd see every once in a while a little...
Like a little cerveza stand where they sold Pepsi and beer and
or a little corrugated metal hut. That's where the people that did live there.
Very impoverished.
Very sad. And the cows, the skinniest cows I've ever seen in my life.
We're from Oregon. We have fat cows. I didn't know cows had ribs actually until we were in Costa Maya, and you could see the ribs on all the cows. And I thought, holy.
It was kind of sad.
They need to feed those cows.
So we supported the local economy.
We did. I think Roatan is still one of the kidnapping capitals of the world, so, it is what it is.
Yeah, when we were waiting to get on our bus for the tour, we're asking about shopping and stuff, and our tour guide's like, "Oh yeah, you can go outside those security gates right there. We can't vouch for your safety, but yeah, hey, go right ahead." I'm like, "Yeah, no, okay, we're okay."
And they also warned us we would be mobbed by the locals harassing us, and which was funny because we were being harassed by the people inside the gate, but apparently outside the gate it's a whole other level.
Far worse from what we were told.
Okay, what else we got?
Harvest Caye, which is the Norwegian Cruise Line private island. Super nice. Oh my
Super
goodness.
nice.
Super nice.
They have their own island in the middle of an ocean, and they've terraformed it, which is what large companies do. Half the island they turned into a mangrove reserve, brand new trees all around. They said it took 5 years to plant everything. It's a natural habitat for birds, for fish. I know sharks grow up in the mangrove. I'm a big fan. The other half of the island, they had a private beach. They had a pool with a swim-up bar. I spent some time in the pool. I swam up to the bar. They had a lighthouse with a zip line that went all the way across the bay. I heard it was like $75 or $100.
$75 to
We
go.
didn't do the zip line because the zip line is nothing new to us, but it did look fabulous. But you could rent jet skis, you could rent paddle boards, you could rent canoes. They had boat tours going out of there. There was parasailing. A couple of restaurants, maybe 15 to 20 shops right there on the little island. Everything looked very new, very clean. A lot of handmade stuff. There were a lot of. We almost bought some baskets from some real live Mayans.
Yes.
They did beautiful work, but we weren't ready to pull the trigger on what I would call the tourist prices. I think we'd love to have some of the baskets, but they were pretty steep right there. But
That and we had no way of getting them home.
that is true. Our luggage is jammed, but the gals were making more baskets right there in front of us. Beautiful work, a lot of detail. We'd like to support them if we could afford it, and we had more carry-ons.
There was a really good restaurant there called the Laughing Bird. Had the best
Laughing Bird,
nachos.
Laughing Parrot,
Laughing Bird.
Laughing Bird.
Best nachos ever.
And I had some coconut shrimp fritters that were fantastic. They put them down in front of me, and the next thing I knew, they were all gone. And I actually accused Margaret of stealing them. Yeah, we don't
But
know.
I don't like shrimp, so I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Cozumel, we did the excursion on the underwater river. the
That's
secret
right.
River.
That's right. So we took a water taxi from Cozumel across the bay to Playa del Carmen, which is where our excursion was. We actually hardly got any time to explore Cozumel, but it looked like a big city. I think it's got 25,000 people in it, but I mean, definitely a couple miles long by a couple miles wide. It looked like a little bit of everything, but we spent most of our time on the excursion, so we didn't get to explore it. We would definitely like to go back and check that out.
Yes.
Also, Playa del Carmen,
Playa del Carmen.
that place, they dropped us off, the water taxi dropped us off right in front of a shopping complex that we had to walk through to get to our excursion, but we didn't have time to shop. Again, we were pressed for time on this, but we would love to go back. We'd love to explore that. It looked like a beautiful place to look around. A lot of people walking around, a lot of stuff to do. So.
And the water taxi, or the ferry, was huge. It fit probably, 300 people?
Yeah, a couple hundred people.
But it was one of the double hull.
Double hull, and the faster it went, the higher it rose out of the water.
But it was pretty smooth. It took 35 minutes to get from Cozumel to Playa del Carmen. And this was the most luxurious ferry I've ever been on. They served all kinds of alcohol. They served pop, snacks, and they had waitresses that came around to your chair or your seat to serve you. So it was,
The water taxi was probably the most modern thing we saw while we were there.
and it was 500 pesos,
500 pesos!
which is $25.
It doesn't sound as bad when you say it that way,
No.
but
I think it was a round trip because we only paid once.
we did, and they kept warning us to not lose our ticket. The guide said several times, if you lose your ticket, welcome to Mexico, because you ain't going home. So
No.
we held on to our ticket.
Yes. And as always, thank you for joining us today. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you really liked it, share it with somebody. Spread the word, spread the love. And if you're not subscribing, we'd love for you to subscribe so you get the notices. And as always, please leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you.
We would love to hear from you, especially if you have any questions about any of the destinations we went to. We ran through this pretty quick, but we don't know much, but we're willing to share with whatever we have with you. So,
until next time, friends.
until next time, fellas, fair winds,
Fair
my
winds.